Parashas Ki Savo Tavshin Pedalet. It's a sheer, despite the amount of data we're gonna have, you will understand because it's a very strong concept, very, very powerful concept. Why don't we go directly to the psukim? Okay, here. I'm going to take just after the clause. We have terrible clauses in Ki Savo, 98 of them. Who are they for? So the pasuk is going to reveal us who this clause apply to. All these clauses will come upon you, and they will chase after you. If you run away, they will chase after you. And they will catch up with you. Ad hishamdach, until they will exterminate you. Wow, so powerful. You want to know what the guy did? Avodah Zarah, Shvichas Damim, Giloy Arayos, maybe the three of them. No. Kiloi Shamata, because you didn't listen. Bekoil Hashem Eloikecha. To the mitzvahs of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, his orders. Lishmor mitzvoisav, to keep his mitzvahs, bechukoisav, and the chukim, asher tzivach tahi odem. HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave us the Torah. In the Torah, there are mitzvahs. If we not mekayim the mitzvahs, the clause will apply, and not only apply to that person, they will chase upon him. They will catch him, and they will decimate him. We're probably not talking about any mitzvah here. We're talking about strong mitzvahs. All right, let's keep on. Vehayu becha leois ulmoifes. And people will wonder. It's going to be like a sign. People will see it as a sign. Uvzaracha ad oilam, and also your descendant in end of time. Oh my gosh. The only Aveira that HaKadosh Baruch Hu goes after the children of a person is swearing, false swearing on the name of Hashem that HaKadosh Baruch Hu takes. That person's wife, Rachmana litzlan, his children. But here, the affliction won't stop. There's no way out. Uvzaracha ad oilam, till end of time. What did he do? Now the pasuk is going to tell us. Tachas asher lo yavata, because you didn't serve at Hashem Eloikecha, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, your God. Besimcha uvetuv leib. Because you did not accomplish the mitzvahs with happiness, with will, and with simcha. Meroiv koil, when you had everything. I'm scratching my head. We're talking about a guy that did the mitzvahs. That's what the pasuk says. That the only part you didn't accomplish is to do them besimcha. But you went to shul every morning. You didn't like it, but you went to it. You're going to get 98 clauses? Clauses like this that stays upon that family for forever? Why? Because he didn't have simcha in the mitzvahs? Let me ask you a question. Someone, my son, has tzaras, and he comes to shul, and he davens and he cries. Oh, you're going to tell him you're going to get the clause because you cannot behave like this before HaKadosh Baruch Hu? Makes no sense. Well, only you want to tell me that not having the simcha is much more serious than be Oved Avodah Zarah. That's what this pasuk tells me. But we're not done because the pasuk adds on the clause. You think only the 98 clause? He's going to give us another one. And you will serve your enemy, not a goy. It has to be the enemy. Asher yeshalchenu Hashem bach. And you have to know who sent him to you is HaKadosh Baruch Hu himself. Not hiding. HaKadosh Baruch Hu says it clearly. What's happening? HaKadosh Baruch Hu takes such a revenge on a person that just didn't have simcha what he did the mitzvahs. You know, he went to a sukkah. He did it. He did Yom Kippur. He fasted the whole time. He was in shul the whole time. He couldn't stand a minute of it, but he was there. You're going to tell me this guy is going to get all this? Should get a reward at least for what he has accomplished, the mitzvah. Where have we seen that if the simcha is not there, the whole mitzvah is worthless? That's what the pasuk is telling me. So this guy is like he has accomplished nothing in his life. It's not possible. And that's not it. You're not only going to serve your enemy, but you're going to serve him with famine, with thirst. And you're going to be naked and with nothing. It's not enough that you're going to be hungry because he's not going to feed you. That's why he's an enemy. He has no feelings for you. He has no rachmas. He has sinah for you. You're going to be berav and betzama. But also you will be ashamed. You won't even be able to clothe yourself and have nothing. And if you think that's it, no. V'nosan oil barzel al tzavarecha. He will put the oil. I don't want to quote it away. Who can translate me oil in English?
Yoke.
A yoke. Very good. Thank you. A yoke. Barzel, we'll see what he means. Al tzavarecha, on your neck. Adishmido oisach. And he will exterminate you. Mamish the shore. Unbelievable. I don't understand. I don't understand. Everything in life is a path. We have to grow into something. We don't have the first day understanding of the greatness of the hallelujah we say, that we say why we say these one and not others. There's so many Tehillim, 150 and so forth. Why this mizmor? Why do we say Kriya Shema? What do we do? Why do we start our day in shul and not at work? And then, if we have a few minutes, we come to shul. What is this order of life? It's not the order of a human being. It's the order of a son of Hashem that believes in HaKadosh Baruch Hu. But HaKadosh Baruch Hu, not easy to be happy. We didn't create ourselves. We have natures. And guys are, something like this. And it happens to be that he lives in an area where all the shuls are schlep. How can he be besimcha? The guy has stars. How can he be besimcha? Why, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, do you give so much importance to the simcha to the point that someone who does not accomplish the mitzvahs with simcha, you could have said, okay, your mitzvah is worthless. But punish him with such an achzarius. And it would have been easier to kill him. Kill him. He's dead at once. But here, it's a slow death. He has to feel what he has done. To who? He has done nothing to nobody. Amazing, amazing, amazing. This is purely hashkafa, and that drilling down there, the soidos that are there are amazing, just to the level of the questions. Understanding blocks in the Torah. Understanding, why when we say Shema Yisrael, at least during the Yichud, why? What are we accomplishing? And so forth. It's amazing. But let's go start with the Rambam, who, despite what he says that he was always pshat and a thing, what he touches here tells me that the Rambam has a sagas. He says that the simcha that a person does while accomplishing mitzvahs is a huge avodah. In other words, remember when we learned Tease Melacha and everything, a Jew is just the opposite of the Goy. The Goy, when he goes out in the morning, he goes to avodah, he goes to work. Sorry, what a Ben Yisrael is going to a Melacha, which is much lighter. So when is the work of the Ben Yisrael? In short, that's avodah. We have turned things around, but the correct way a Jew had to be is his avodah, is in short, outside he has a melacha. Take it easy, everything will be fine. Says the Rambam that anyone that does not accomplish, the truth is he prevents himself, he says. So he could have, but I'm not here to give a lamdisha shir, that doesn't accomplish the mitzvahs with simcha, he is liable to be punished. As the pasuk says, Tachas asher lo yavato es Hashem Elokecha besimcha ubetuv leva. When you do not serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu with simcha, at that point, you deserve the harsher punishment. And the Rambam, I didn't see that only when I finished the fourth drush. Did I realize what the Rambam's saying at the end of his word? And he's saying here that anyone that, I'm going to use the right word for this, anyone that has gaiva or shows off when he's in shul, when it's a place to worship HaKadosh Baruch Hu, is a shoite and a choite. As Shlomo HaMelech has warned, do not show off before the king, because the king will feel that there is a competition and he will kill that person. Okay, Rambam, I understand if a person shows off, then he's liable. However, I do not understand the harshness of the punishment for such a small, peculiar, thing, which is called the simcha. Why is it so much that you make it, but to the point that the pasuk tells me all these clauses? I'm thinking to myself a second, and I'm saying, well, nothing is an occurrence in the Torah. We have 98 clauses. How do I get to 98? Obviously, that person has done something tremendous. Tremendously bad, but tremendous. 98 equals Yud Ke Vav Ke, Yud Hey Vav Hey 26, plus the Shem Ab. Yud, I know not everybody follows. Here. If you take Yud K Vav K, you add that to Yud Hey Vav Hey. The Shem in the Chachma. So this person, I know where he went. He didn't do a Pgam only in the Malchus. He did a Pgam in the Chachma. What the heck? Not having Simcha can create a Pgam. You know, you haven't done a mitzvah, but you haven't done an Aveira. You're neutral. You were ordered to do this. You didn't do it. Fine. You're halfway, but you're not all the way to the left. To the left. So why? And how did he get over all the spheroids and reach the Chachma above the Bina? How is it possible that someone does? You can't make a Pgam in the Chachma. It's too high. It's in the head. So how can a simple thing like the Simcha in a mitzvah, okay, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, we didn't give you the respect we owe you, we are so sorry, and everything. But, come on. The person is not Chayav Misa, another Misa like the Nazis did. Not understandable. Rav Nubachye. Start with the Rishonim. Let's see. He says, HaKadosh Baruch Hu condemned the person that worships him. So you understand from his word, that worships him. That means you're still going to shul, you're still learning Torah, but your heart is not there. He says, because a person, whenever he does a mitzvah, he is forced to associate to it the simcha. And he's going to get a schar on each one. Each one, the mitzvah and the simcha. In other words, they're two different things. So why did the first pasuk says, Lo shamata bekoil Hashem Elokecha? You're gonna you will receive the 98 clauses because you didn't hear to the koil of HaKadosh Baruch Hu to keep his mitzvahs and everything, and the chukim and the mishpatim. But no, he did them. He just didn't do them with simcha. So what? No, you didn't do them with simcha. So we see not exactly like Rav Nubachye. It's truly a one thing. It's a kind of an ingredient, that a magical ingredient that would change everything. We're gonna have to explain what it is. Al Shabbos, I would explain you if I'm here. I would explain you what is the atzvus doing. Sadness versus simcha. Like this, we can really see the antipodes of the world and understand how forces are working in the world. It's amazing. Finishes Rabbi Nubachye from the Zohar Rus. He says that the pasuk says about Reuven when he saved Yosef from the hands. Says Vayishma Reuven heard by Yatzila miyadam, and he saved him from their hands. They wanted to kill him, and he saved him. Okay. If Reuven knew that this act of chesed would have been written in the Torah, he would have taken Yosef on his shoulder and get him all the way to his father. Wow. Same thing for Aaron. HaKadosh Baruch Hu, when he was by the snake, told Moshe Rabbeinu that when go to the desert, go to Mitzrayim, you will meet with Aaron on the way because he came out to meet with you. If when he's going to see you, he's going to be extremely happy of what I gave you, the responsibilities that I gave you. He's not going to be jealous. Zohar says, if Aaron had known that this peculiar thing would be written in the Torah, he would have come out with trumpets and drums to Moshe Rabbeinu. The third one is about Boaz, that he fed, a dish of seorim, of barley, to Ruth when she was coming to his field. Had Boaz known that the Torah will take this action, this chesed, and write it, he would have given her fat meats and all delicacies. The truth is, it's very challenging why Rabbi Bachye brought those proofs, because those proofs, those examples disprove his point. You see that they could have done with more things, and they haven't done it. What do you mean, if they had known it's written in the Torah? So what? Who said that the act of simcha is depending? So truly, Reuben had to take Yosef, take him on his shoulder, and bring him back home. Aaron had to go out with trumpets and with drums. And Boaz, the truth is, he was supposed to give Ruth, so it was a lack in their mitzvah. That's all. Usually, that word comes out. So why were they rewarded? Where is their simcha here? How much can we quantify, or do I have to accomplish full simcha, half simcha, a bit of simcha? What takes me away from the danger of receiving those clauses? Before I let go and we go in the Zohar, because we're going to have to dive in, trying to understand what's going on here. It's, we said last week, not last week. Yeah, last week. No, not last week. 2 weeks ago, that it was Mishpat Vat Tzedek Tirdov. Where is the Tzedek here? Where is the Tzedek? Someone is lacking an ingredient. You're going to say he didn't prepare food? That's not shaykh. It's not right. That's not Mishpat Vat Tzedek. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is requesting from us Mishpat Vat Tzedek. Obviously, these are qualities that he has. How should we learn this psukim in order to understand what's going on behind all this? So, Rav Bachye, we have to give him a big kudo here because he touches the point of the oinesh that this person will encounter, but he's going to blow our minds. He says, do you know why he's going to have to work he'll be enslaved by his enemy Vedavka? Because HaKadosh Baruch Hu is his God, is his creator, it's his father, and he gave him everything. You have to understand that when Bnei Israel were on the land, they didn't have an army. They didn't have anything. They were going to war sometime, Milchemes Mitzvah, but without weapons. And somehow that was enough to decimate the enemies, because a hordes of Malachim would come down with swords and start chopping the heads on the other side. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu showed them his presence. He proved them that he was here. I understand it's a big avla, no question about it. We should be able to say thank you to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We should be able to reconnect. But since this guy didn't have simcha in the mitzvah, we're going to go to the other side of the spectrum, and we're going to go the oyev. HaKadosh Baruch Hu was an oyev. Oh, you're You're not satisfied with your oyev, so go to the oyev. You're not satisfied with the bounty that HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave you, very rich. You could go to the Beis HaMikdash. You could leave all your harvest and everything you have in the house unguarded. Nobody's going to come to touch it. As the Midrash says, Aryeh de Be'ilai, the huge lions were coming, protecting your property. HaKadosh Baruch Hu was taking care of every detail. All he asked us, go to Yerushalayim and be besimcha with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Okay. But when they go to shul every day and they have to work their field, so they're in the kfar over there, each one has his nebach, his pekelech, his headache, his everything. It's not the like Yom Tovim and everything, like everybody's laid back. I'd like to add one more notch here on the question. A person can be chayv. We know the Mishnah in Yoma that some tshuva right away takes it off. Some you need tshuva plus yisurim, but Yom Kippurim takes wipes it out. Some needs yisurim, some need misa. But after Misa, it stops. You made tshuva, it stops. Tzadi Gomor. This guy was not happy during while accomplishing the mitzvahs. Okay, it's a fact. We'll take it as a fact. Why is his death not a kapara, a complete kapara? Why does he have to remain with his children and grandchildren? Why? What the big avla that he has done that you cannot basically repair? What happened? Zohar HaKadosh says, I'm going to point you on this, but I'm not going to go into it here. It's going to be for Shabbos. It's too long, that subject, to understand. We have two psukim in Tehillim. In Tehillim base, Shlomo HaMelech says, Ivdu es Hashem be'yira. Serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu with fear. Vegilu, and enjoy bir ada while trembling. I'm not going to explain this pasuk here now. It seems like an oxymoron here, but trust me. A second pasuk that seems to contradict the first one doesn't seem, it does. Ivdu es Hashem besimcha. This is be'yira. No, here it's besimcha. Boyu lefanav, come to him, birnana, with joy, with everything. You see these two psukim. Says the Zohar HaKadosh that it says, so we're going to take the second pasuk and go with it because we need to understand our point. We're not going to go sideways. We just have to understand a very important point. Ivdu es Hashem besimcha, worship HaKadosh Baruch Hu with joy. Come before him with rina, with song, with the shirim et ishbaches. That's rina. Rina is also tefillah. Lishmo el arina vela tefillah. It's when someone learns Torah, when someone davens and has his own tune to give him kavana and take him when he says, I don't know, Psuke de Zimra and so forth, even the kavanas, that's the rina. That's what we call rina. So a person needs to have two things when he daven to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. He has to daven besimcha and he has to daven berina. When the day starts, we know the day, the sun is chesed. So the chasadim are waking up. So the whole night was the dinim. That's why all the chitzonim are out. That's why all the shindalet are free to roam anywhere in the world. But when comes the morning, they have to hide. It's the realm of the chasadim. Therefore, in order for a person to be holding onto the chasadim the whole time, in the morning he has to go daven shachris. And from there, he pulls the chasadim towards him. In other words, HaKadosh Baruch Hu prepared the kiddush for a person. And it's not food. It's bane chaye mezoine, what we need. It's on a platter, it's in shul. A person comes and can serve himself at will. But there is a way to daven. He has to be moishech the chasadim to him, because everything in the chasadim. HaKadosh Baruch Hu, in other words, is not going to take the food from the platter and put it in your mouth. You're going to have to go to the table, approach the table, be a human being, and serve yourself, and go eat. And thank HaKadosh Baruch Hu for the food he gave you, and for the chasadim. That's the reason we start the day with shachris. In other words, to remain away from the midas adin and to be connected with the midas arachmim, the chasadim, the whole day. And when he davens correctly, all the worlds are getting their bounty, meaning he brings a shefa to all the worlds, not only the one down below, but even the one up there. Malachim can get their food, because even Malachim eat. It's ruchnis, but they're eating the man, and they can only receive it after the tachtonim, after the people down below have made the tefillah and tefillah b'kavana. Okay, I understand. There is an inyan to go daven. There is an inyan of simcha, what it does. So when you do a mitzvah, you accomplish. Accomplish means olam ha'asiyah, in the world down below, in the olam hazeh. Everything is through actions. However, if I want to perform a task in the upper worlds, I have to have the machshava, and the simcha has to be internal. You know, even though a lot of Rishonim says almost till he's ready to dance and so forth, but let's say it's an internal feeling that HaKadosh Baruch Hu allowed us to serve him. And that's the reason it's enough of a reason to be besimcha when we serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And again, the tremendous toiva, when we start thinking, the tremendous toiva HaKadosh Baruch Hu did to the person, that his work is done in shul. After shul, it's over. It's huge. You have the chasadim with you. Everything you basically want. The guy that's in front of you, he doesn't see what's upon you, but his nefesh inside is seeing it. So now, automatically, the nefesh tells the body and the mind, do business with it. And a good thing, and the guy has a very good feeling, a lot of respect for that yid. The yid doesn't understand. I don't know him from Adam and Chava. You know, I wrote him an email. Is basically was more Yiddish than Chinese. So you know, things like this. But the guy decided to work with you because you have the chasadim. So where was your work? During shul. All you have to do is be moishech the chasadim. The rest comes by itself. And how do you draw them to you? The Zohar gets more specific. The ki Hashem hu ha'elokim. Basically, you have taken HaKadosh Baruch Hu and the Shechina and made one. Yud ke vav ke adnus made the yichud. But you have to know. What do you mean you have to know? Where is knowledge? Inside. If we don't learn who HaKadosh Baruch Hu is, first of all, we have zero understanding of his greatness. We cannot have, we have an Ava of Hashem that's totally fake, like the fakers. But once you discover Hashem and his majesty and the level of greatness, you are in awe before him. And you want to get only closer and closer to him because you are drawn like a magnet. There's nothing you can do at that point. You can just another pasuk on this. Remember that pasuk, the ki Hashem Elohim. The inyan in the mitzvah is not the action. The body is dead and will always be dead. The nefesh, the neshama, should call it, is alive and will always remain alive. So how does it look that the body is alive now? It's not him. That's the expression of the neshama inside him. And the proof is, as soon as the neshama will leave, the body will be just dead. So it's not him that's alive. Him is dead, but the neshama is alive. In other words, what a dead piece of flesh does, not very important. Doesn't have a lot of shefa, doesn't create in the ilamas up there tremendous thing. What creates is what you put in the mitzvah, the machshava that you put in the mitzvah. And now the Torah revealed us the hard way, because that's the only time in the Torah we're going to talk about simcha. Yeah, besamachta bechagecha, but we're not going to know the true importance or reward and at the same time punishment for simcha. That's the only time. I start understanding, I start seeing a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel, but I'm far away from understanding why is it such a big request. HaKadosh Baruch Hu should have made, according to the Zohar, just okay, you have to have kavanah. It's a lev, ritzayin halev. You need to have kavanah. But simcha? In Kriya Shema, you say every day, V'satem v'avatem Elohim acherim v'ishtachavisem la. Kadosh Baruch Hu is warning the Bnei Yisrael, if chas v'shalom you serve other gods, what's going to happen? Ve'atzar es hashamayim ve'lo yihye matar. HaKadosh Baruch Hu will shut the skies, and there will be no rain. And whatever ensues famine, whatever ensues after that. All right? Don't you think that's a bit better than what we read in Ki Savo? The guy who didn't have simcha, the punishment of the guy who didn't have simcha in his mitzvahs is much harsher than just not having rain and have a bare field. Okay, you don't make money, you lose money, but it's only money at the end of the day. But here, not having simcha is much worse than avodah zarah. It's his life, but not in any way. On a slow fire. Death on a slow fire. Terrible age. It's amazing that last week we said Zohar was asking about the Ken Tzipor. He was asking, can HaKadosh Baruch Hu not have mercy on the bird? You know, all of a sudden, whoa, it doesn't have mercy because we have to make a mitzvah through the bird. We answered last week already. But that same question is brought on the pasuk, not question, limud. on the pasuk, Verachma Toiv Hashem Lakoi, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is good to everyone. Everyone includes even the guy that doesn't do the mitzvahs with simcha. Verachma al kol ma'asa. But truly, from the pasuk that we read before, doesn't seem that way, because it's achzarius. It's not rachmanus. The punishment is going to endure is pure azarius. So where's verachma bal kol ma'asa? Kadosh Baruch Hu can have mercy on a bird, cannot have mercy on a human being. He has children. They go to yeshiva. They go to everything. What's going on? Why this wrath? What triggers it? Because there was no simcha? Okay, I start understanding simcha is like a neshama to the goof, to the mitzvah, and without it, the mitzvah won't go up. Okay, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, pay me my mitzvah in olam ha'asiyah. Don't punish me. Okay, I didn't do such a great mitzvah, but at least pay me back in olam ha'asiyah. I'm not going to find that mitzvah after 120 because it didn't go up to Atzilus, but at least pay it here. No, not going to pay you anything. You're going to see what you're going to get. A tough payment. The Rambam, same Rambam at the end, just to stress the inyan of Simcha, he basically explained that the biggest one is when a person ridicules himself almost. It's not really the right word. He lowers his kavod in order to have a simcha shel mitzvah. Like David HaMelech, when the Aron HaKodesh came back, he was dancing with tremendous islavus, like his wife Abigail told him, "You like the losers of the people, like the cheap people, and you're the king of Israel." He said, if that's what my kavod has to take in order to honor HaKadosh Baruch Hu, I'm happy. We see that in a better way in a Gemara in Ksubas, that Reb Shmuel Yud Zayin Amud Aleph, Reb Shmuel Bar Yitzchak. Reb Shmuel Bar Yitzchak, yeah. When there was a wedding, he would juggle with three. Okay, let's take just one opinion of the Gemara. Three stalk of hadassim. Okay, something we taught, three stalks of hadassim. But Zera had a big taina. So he said, the elder, Reb Shmuel Bar Yitzchak, was much older than him. He belittles the kavod of Talmidei Chachamim because he shows if the Torah is such a gadol can dance before, a new couple like these youngsters, he makes the Torah look very cheap, and automatically it affects the kavod of Talmidei Chachamim. The Gemara says, when Reb Shmuel Bar Yitzchak left this world and they brought him to burial, there was the Amuda de Nura, a pillar of fire coming from sky down that separated between Reb Shmuel Bar Yitzchak and the others, the people that came. And the Gemara says this happened only once or maximum twice in a generation that such a tzaddik that deserves Amuda de Nura. And he had the shape of a dasim. As a message from Shamayim, that the mitzvah of to be mesameach chason vekala and to do it fully, and the person, okay, I belittle a bit my COVID. This is the simcha shel mitzvah. To the point that everyone saw that because of that mitzvah that he was doing fully, he deserved Amuda Denura. My great-grandfather, Rabbi Hashem, he told the family that before he's going to pass away, not to turn around, not to go with him, because whoever go through will die. And when they brought him to burial, he had the Amuda Denura. And my grandfather's cousin started looking and going toward this, drop dead. Right in the Beis Hachan. This concept of Amuda Denura still exists. People don't realize. I mean, now we have a hard time seeing it, but it's only because we're not at the level to be able to see. So we see that a person has to put a little bit of himself. Now, the simcha is also taking a little bit of the person in order to accomplish the mitzvah fully. Still far away, right, from understanding the meaning of simcha, but gradually we start seeing a picture. And this is what I want to build in your minds in order for you to know exactly the Hagdara, the definition of Simcha Shel Mitzvah. Obviously, you're going to know a lot more after the share of Shabbos. And there's a lot more to know. As Hashem, if I send you the vault, I'll try to send you now the vault that I'm not speaking about. So like this, you have something else to read to go even deeper than where I'm going to bring it. The Zohar HaKadosh in Parashas Vayetze says everything in Shamayim is with light, with joy. There is no atzvus, sadness in Shamayim. That's why the Gemara says in Brachas, a person cannot get up and daven mitoich kalus roish, if I'm joking, having a drink with friends and everything, leitzanus, or mitoich atzvus, or from sadness. We cannot approach the why sadness. You're not going to be on Shabbos. I have to explain you that part very well. Atzvus, says Reb Chaim Vital, that this is the Sam Hamavis, the poison that the Nachash instilled in Chava. When she ate the fruit, right away she listened to him, so he owns her on this, and he puts sadness. That's why in the pasuk every time it says be'etzev tel dibanim, you will have hardship. No, etzev is sadness. It's going to bring you sadness. And Adam also, with the Adama, it says the lashon it's sovereign, and etzev. Atzvus is the malachamos. It's the sheep. It's the poison. Simcha is the kedusha. Simcha is, sometimes the Zohar is going to say it's the bina, sometimes the malchus. The truth is it's the midah of the bina. When the bina and the malchus together, automatically you create simcha. And then the bina gives its name to the malchus. In other words, you have two equal powers in the world. On the right, you have the Kedusha. On the left, you have the Sitra Achra. You davening at tefillah, you don't realize that you little men down here thinking you have no reach. Oh no, you're Ben Israel. You're not created. We saw already last week that the goof of a Ben Israel is not created like the goof of a goy. Not at all. A goy, if a couple cannot have children, they're not going to have children. By Jews, a couple, doctors say they cannot have children, they will have children. Why? Because as much as we have one part of us that's human and that needs a doctor, that needs to be fixed, but the main part of us, when doctors say, you cannot, that's where you turn to your other part to fix that part. Because one part of us is light. And the oil can, and sickness is choshech. And the oil can always cure the choshech. So once we daven, we go to shul, and we daven, and your thoughts, oh man, nobody should be able to read into that because they're not really nice. At that point, you have taken the malchus, put it away, take the sitra achra, put it next to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. HaKadosh Baruch Hu leaves. The neshama of that person leaves him. You're going to see very similar to someone who says Lashon Hara. Not exactly, but very similar. The ruach dies. He remains like a goy, nefesh and guf. And his nefesh itself is affected. So he's not in a great why, because you go into the palace of the king, you would have been better off almost not to daven, or delay your daven until you are besimcha. That's why the Baal Shem was so makpid in his tzavah. He wrote it twice. Stay away no matter what comes upon a person. Stay away from sadness. A person should not approach that because sadness is, and I feel sadness, great. That's going to be a tikkun of the chet of Adam. So you overcome it, and you come besimcha to do your mitzvah. At that point, you misaken the Shekhinah. Why? Because instead of all the chatoim that the people have done, and which enables the klippos to attach themselves to the malchus, you raised it to the nesher hagadol, to the great eagle that all birds are afraid of. And the bird, the nesher, spreads its wing on the Shekhinah. At that point, all the chitzonim are scared and they run away. Do you remember the name of the Malchus when it's attached to the Shekhinah? You remember last week the Zohar HaKadosh what it said? He gets the same name as the Bina. Mother and daughter become one. And it's the Malchus, then it's called Nesher. So once the Simcha, the Bina is called Simcha. Once we raise without tefillas, we raise the Malchus to the Bina, it's called Simcha. So we need, the only way to raise the Malchus and save it. The Malchus is in Galus. The Malchus decided to go into Galus and to suffer from the enemies, which are the bad spirits, only to watch over us and to safeguard us. In return, we owe the Malchus to safeguard her also as we can without Phyllis from the Chitzonim. Oh, we don't do that. Okay, so join the club like her. Go to your oivim. Go to the enemies. And the same way they want to exterminate, they want to push her away of the Kli Chaz V'Shalom and have the Shifcha take her place. That's what the people that are going to enslave you will want to do to you. I know, I didn't give you the flesh of the shear, so let's go into it. I know what you're waiting for here. I'm going to prove your point and give you a side here, which is...
Okay, is it okay to ask a question?
Sure.
Okay. I'm just trying to find a good time because you're transitioning now. Mitzvos is either an emotion or a state of mind and its logic, but it pretty much feels like an emotion. So how's a person supposed to just disconnect from an emotion? It was famous that the Chafetz Chaim used to daven for anger because he said if somebody slaps somebody in the face, there's no way that anger doesn't come up. So he would daven for that. So what's the practical? I mean, how do you switch off atzvos?
I hinted it before, and I'm going to explain it maybe a little bit better this time. Once atzvos is an emotion, but remember, it's on the left. You have the right highway totally empty. Once you raise the level of simcha, focus on what we have to do, automatically the atzvut will be kicked out of your heart. They cannot live together in the same place. If you have atzvus in the heart, it will try to block you from having simcha. If you start going, no matter what, thinking about the greatness, like Victor Miller, how he was thinking before and praying on little thing and seeing greater and greater and deeper, and through this, seeing the greatest of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that's what a person has to do. So an emotion is only fluff. Here we're going to use the machshava. We're going to use the knowledge. And from the knowledge, the melech is going to send emotions to his heart. Once the simcha is going to go down to the heart, atzvus won't have any more room to stay there. But don't worry, I cannot cover the whole subject, but yes, the Zohar asked a question also. What would a person do like he's about tshuva? Would he bring a korban besimcha? No, he has to bring bishviras alev. So, hey, you see there's atzvus before HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and someone who has stars. The Zohar also is going to ask that question. I found it in corners from one place to the other. But yes, it's true. But it won't change through all this. It won't change the fact that the U ki Hashem hu ha'elokim. Once you know, you feel, you live, and oid milevado, you just don't say words like this to impress your friend, because that's misusing that the word of the Rambam is a shoite and a choite. You're using to impress someone else, like pretending, look at me, I have you internalize these words. No matter what is happening to me, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is right there because he's the one sending them. Asher yeshalchenu Hashem Elokecha bach. Don't find excuses, the bad luck. It was not the right day, it was not the right time. No. You're spinning it. It's HaKadosh Baruch Hu that's sending this oyef to you for a reason. Wake up. I'm going to prove you mathematically that what I said is a must and there's no other way. So I have to double prove it. And now everything I'm going to do today, I'm going to prove it both ways. Okay, we can agree that basically everything evolves around the beginning of this process. We have to have simcha in all mitzvahs. Okay, if do es Hashem besimcha. Very good. As my habit, I do not understand your pasuk. You tell me your value. 864. If I write simcha in full, shin, mem, Hey, I got it. You have to be convinced that's the way, that's the derech to be Oved Hashem, because we owe to HaKadosh Baruch Hu so much, because he's really here. We before him. And you cannot go, Bo lefanav. We are before him now. Birnana. Because the other one, the Shifcha, the Zoina, which is the Sitra Achra, she's there too. She's willing to take the place. So she wants to bring Atzvus. So once you have Simcha, you kick her out. And if Chaz v'Shalom, she's in here, she kicks out the Simcha. But there's a way to banish her, Interestingly, this Lashon, Tachas, under, Ki lo yavato. What's Tachas Asher? Understandable, this digduk here is so wrong, it's unbelievable. He should have said, because you didn't serve. Ki lo yavato, like it says million times in the Torah. I'm going to take this one first. Because it could have said ki kasher, but let's say tachas is definitely the wrong word here. Equals 808 equals nachash tachas. Asher yeshalchenu Hashem Eloikecha. You did not want of Hashem Eloikecha, which equals 92, like Pachad. Then HaKadosh Baruch Hu is sending you in the hands of your enemies who have no mercy. Here, the Yetzer Hara is mefate the person, try to seduce the person and show him a nice face like he's a friend. Do a chet. After 120, that very nasty face is going to show his real face, that he is a prosecutor. And the person doesn't know why he in this world. He makes the mitzvahs. He's not comfortable. He has pachad inside his heart. It's missing Hashem. And he has the nachash. Now, let's go, understanding these two words I said have no place here. Where are you? Tachas asher. This equals to 1,309. Exactly the number. Ashloisha dvarim ha'olam oimed ala Torah, avoida, gmilos chasad. When a person removes the simcha from a mitzvah, is machrif the world. Oh, you're destroying the whole world. Why? Because again, you're putting the shivcha instead of the malka and Islam. And therefore, the punishment is to that level. When HaKadosh Baruch Hu says here in the Pasuk, because you did not serve. okay, what did I do wrong? Okay, I did not do it, but I did not do anything wrong neither. What are you coming to teach me? Galus. Bavel. All the Galuyas of Israel are for that reason, because we lack simcha. Parasumadai, that we went to Mordechai and Esther. What else we have? Yavan. 1, 2, 3, 4. Edoim. Yishmael. The life of the Bnei Israel. The whole history of the Bnei Israel in one line. Why did we go to Babel? Because we didn't have simcha. Why did we go to Paras? We didn't have simcha. Madai, didn't have simcha. Yavan, we are in Edom and Ishmael because we don't have simcha in the mitzvah. Because if we had done with simcha, with the mitzvah, right away we would have had the Yeshua. Proof beyond any possible question. What HaKadosh Baruch Hu you asking me to do besimcha of Tuv Leva? What do you want from me? No, I want to give you something. I want nothing from you, Hashem says. But the world needs the oil and such. And I can, and the galus can stop. Because when you do the mitzvah besimcha of Tuv Leva, right away, the oil and such is mayor. Now you understand that sometime in the mitzvah, not doing something is not neutral, because that person he has the power, he has the capacity to prevent the nezek, and he does not do it. And therefore he's responsible, because the whole world will suffer, because this is a type of mitzvah that affects the whole world. All I'm trying to point here, not chas v'sharm to tell you that I'm any better than you. I'm probably not by far. But we have Rosh Hashanah. We have Yom Kippur. We need HaKadosh Baruch Hu, all he wants from us is Habali Taher. You just come. You haven't started a Tyra, but you come to be Mitaher. Metari Noiso. Before you even arrive to the place of Tyra, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is Metari the person. HaKadosh Baruch Hu has to see that we start understanding. We start knowing the U, because we know HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We understand more about the spheroids. We understand a lot more about the Shemus. There's much more Shemus inside there. Should I give it to you? Menachem, what do you say?
Ready.
We're waiting.
I'm here.
Okay, be ready. It's going to take off. But it's huge. I think that's going to make the point. I don't even have to make any point after that. Look at this word. Simcha. It's not what. Oh, you want to be happy, Fluff? You didn't understand anything. Yes, it's going to be a consequence. This is a signal. Shem, Ches, and Hey. When you look in the 72 name, first of all, you know what Shem stands for. So I'm going to go like this now. As I work, I'm going to go just to give it to you. To give you that side. Shem, we know equals Yud Ke Vav Ke Adnos. Shakat. This is the pure Yesod, straight the Vav in the middle, 340, 340. In the 72 name of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, when we say Koil HaNeshama Tehalel, the first three letters, or in Shemona Esrei, I don't want to go into Kavanos. I don't want to waste my time. You have equals 425. That's the Shem with which the nays of Purim and Hanukkah were done, because equals Hanukkah Purim. Just for the sideline. This one, huge Shem, especially to use when people are sick or whatever. This Shem, you can change the nature. It's the letters of Moshe. Me'olam hu shemecha. We said in Vayatzi for those who say the word hu. Sorry, it's not Moshe. It's the opposite. These two letters change. So this is the fifth name of the 72 names that come out from Vayisa. So the Shema Mefoirash of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So now, and this equals 345. And we said this equals 340. Now, if I total this equals 1110, what do you read? Simcha is attaching the names from the look at the ichud there is 10 times aleph. Everything attached to the keser. In other words, from the higher part of the Atzilus to the lowest part of the Asiya, everything is written. Simcha is, why do we have the Or and Sof? What have we done? Because we are in the Keser. And the Keser has the Or and Sof. It's a consequence. Because we made the Ichud HaElomis, the U Ki Hashem Hu HaEloikim. Do not doubt. You have to understand that everything is HaKadosh Baruch Hu, everywhere. Simcha is the Shemois of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. But it's the Shemois of HaKadosh Baruch Hu with which we make the bounding between all the Oilamis. Everything is one. That's the true Simcha Shomit. To want to be Me'ached the Oilamis, to give Nachas Ruach to the Malchus. So she is back to her place. Instead of giving you a Musa Shmuz, I think one number and we close the debates here.